So we'll just wait for a moment, Steve, before we start diving into this. Just going to keep an eye on the feeds. So it looks like we're live, Steve. Let me just double check over on the different, what we've got, Facebook and YouTube. We should be live and kicking. Guys, if you're watching in the comments, please comment down below. Tell me who's watching. I want to see you. I want to see you. I want to hear from you. Let's give some likes, give some love to Steve. Yeah, it looks like we're live. Guys, welcome to 600 Seconds. This week we are with Stephen Binks, UK Sales Manager at Knipex Tools, and he's answering your questions. So guys, if you don't know what 600 Seconds is, it's where we sit down with brands and we ask them your questions. We had a load of questions submitted from the Tool Talk community. Big thank you to everyone that contributed those questions. If you missed out, you'll have an opportunity after this to ask your questions, and I'll tell you at the end on exactly how to do that. But for now, Steve, do you just want to introduce who you are and a little bit about what you do at Knipex?
Yeah, sure. Nice to be here. But yeah, my name's Steve. I'm this UK sales manager for Knipex. We have a team of guys over here in the UK who are responsible for going out, obviously, making sure that all our wonderful products are out there for you guys to buy. Again, it's important we do these sort of things to let you know new things that are coming up, and obviously, most importantly, get your feedback. So yeah, more questions, the better for us.
Like it. And what I especially like as well is you guys were super keen to jump on and do this, because I know not to name anyone specific, but sometimes people are a little bit apprehensive about just jumping on. I know we're live, so some people don't really like that aspect, but I really appreciate you jumping on today and just answering these guys' questions and just just going for it. So it looks like we've got a few watches on the different channels. So without any further ado, Steve, I'm going to get into this, mate. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock, and we're just going to dive straight into these. So are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Simple one to start with, Steve. I've got Ashley Oliver and John Slater. They ask, where did Knipex start and where are you now? And how did you go from an unknown brand to being one of the biggest in the industry?
Well, it's taken a long time. So Knipex started in 1882, so 139 years ago now, and that started in a place called Kronenberg in Germany. And we are still in exactly the same place as where it all started. Knipex is a family-run business. It still is. We're in the 4th generation now. So back in 1882, we had 3 people working for us. The Knipex name and brand was registered in 1942. So Knipex has been around since that sort of time. Currently now we have over 2,000 people worldwide working for us. More than 1,300 people actually working in the factory now. And we've gone from a production of about 50 to 60 pairs of pliers a day into 60,000 pairs of pliers a day. So you can put that in perspective. It's hard to imagine what 60,000 pair of pliers per day looks like coming out of the factory, but when you ever get to see it, it's an amazing sight. Yeah, obviously that's taken a long time to get from that point of view, but again, the brand and the biggest in the industry, I think one of the main things we've become so well known for is pliers, because that's what we focus on. I think a lot of brands go off into lots of different areas and try and do too many products. We focused on pliers to make sure that the product that we manufacture is the best out there. So
like it. And on the subject of tools, Tom Huxley asks, what new tools do you have in the pipeline?
Well, I could use the old adage. I could tell you,
send us a PDF.
I could not actually tell you right now. We have new tools coming out all the time. So there's the whole production phase, and there's a big release of tools. So the next time you're going to see brand new tools from Knipex, you're going to be looking at probably June, July. I know what they are, but I can't tell you what they are.
Can't even tease them.
I can't even tease, normally every year we have specific industry tools. So we'll design something for the automotive market or the electrical market. This time round, I'm happy to say that the tools that are coming out will cover lots of different markets. So they'll be useful for lots of different industries. So it's a nice one. We do have some products that came out at the back end of this year that people might not be aware of. So that they're going to see a lot in our social media and stuff for Q2. So the next 3 months, lots of different products. So we've got new tool cases, lots of new tool kits and sets coming out. So that's what's out now, and you should see those start flowing through. But in terms of the brand new stuff, keep your eyes peeled for June and July, and you'll see some really, really nice stuff appearing there in the market.
Fair play. So James was going to ask, do you plan to bring out cable strippers similar to that of CK? Sounds like you can't sort of divulge that info.
We do have lots and lots of cable strippers. What we don't tend to do is look what's out on there in on the market and do something similar to what someone else is doing. That's not our ethos as a brand. We want to be doing it first, best,
sure,
and sort of being ahead of the curve. So we would never look at product that someone's already got out the market and do a Me Too product, if you like. So we have lots and lots of cable strippers for lots of different types of cables. So I think our cable stripping is pretty well covered in the products that we have out there. And the latest introduction, the Ergo Strip, is a big fan of, lots of people are a big fan of that product out there, and does a wide range of cables. It's very well received, that one.
Yeah, that Ergo Strip actually gets a lot of good positive reviews over in Tool Talk. So if you've not got that, definitely worth checking that one out. I'm just going to move on to sort of the design and manufacture process of tools. A couple of people asked very similar questions. I've got one from Peter Little. It's quite meaty, so I'll try and get through it. When Knipex releases a new tool to the market, what's your process? Knipex always seems ahead of the curve with a lot of their tools. How do you go from concept to finished product? Do you include electricians in the design process, or is it just an internal team? And like, would you ever consider working with inventors or other trades that have ideas for tools?
Sure. So the process is very long. As you can imagine, tooling for new products can take a very long time. Most importantly, the testing as well takes a long time. But absolutely, yeah, we get lots and lots of questions from the factory on a weekly basis. What cable do you most use? What size pipe is most commonly used? What are the attributes of these products? Where do you see issues, and what products are already out there on the market? What's good elements of those, and obviously what would people like. So we do actually get people from all sorts of different trades to look at the products, and we do ask them lots of questions. We do have a program called the Nip Expert. Now this is a program that you can apply to join, and you will be involved in the process of any new products and stuff. So you can look online. I think there's no space at the moment for applying online, but we do open this up quite regularly. So get involved, have a look at the Nip Expert program, and you two could sort of influence and shape the future of products to come out from Knipex.
Like it. And I guess just a quick Google search of Nip Experts will be able to pull that up for them to apply to them.
Exactly, yes.
Like it. And then a couple around sort of tool personalization and customization. Ryan Bannister asks, VDE tools in the industry are predominantly colored red, yellow, and orange. Does Knipex plan on doing any limited releases of different colors? Competitors have done similar ones like this. And then Daniel Dempster also says, would you consider making personalized tools, e.g. laser etching the name in, or just an easy way to help them identify their own tools, really?
Yeah, so in terms of the handles, obviously we keep those specific so that we keep that specific. So the red and the yellow does denote VDE, and they are obviously shaped differently. They come from different materials, so we keep that the same. The red and the blue handles are our comfort grip handles. Then we have obviously the normal red dipped handles. As you can imagine, making 60,000 pair of pliers a day, it's very difficult to just swap out a different color. We have done in the past on some of the mini Cobras. We did some blue handled and some pink limited edition ones, so you might see some of those out there. But for us, it's very difficult, being such a large, huge manufacturer, to actually change the process to do small runs. In terms of personalization, yes, we can do personalization, and we do work again with a company in the UK called Lavender Plumbing and Heating, and they can do exactly that. So they can laser etch company names on the handles. They can do it on the actual tools as well. Again, so people do it to identify whose tools who, because people are quite protective over their Knipex tools and like to make sure they're taking their own tools home at the end of the day, nobody else's. So yeah, Lavender Plumbing and Heating, they're a good one who would do lots of that things out there. So yeah, Google those guys. They can help you out.
Like it. And then I'm just going to move on because we are running out of time very quickly. This one's sort of about warranty and tool care. We've had quite a few questions on that. Daniel Hodgson just wanted to know the warranty. What is it? Is it a lifetime warranty, and what does that look like? Ryan Bannister says, are Knipex screwdrivers covered under lifetime warranty if the heads snap or round off? Ashley Oliver says, what advice can you give to looking after the tools? And then also Neil Gregaro also asks, is there a way of maintaining and sharpening edges and things like that?
Right, okay, I can't remember all those.
I know there was a lot to unpack there, but like, what's the warranty and returns, and then how do you maintain the tools?
So lifetime warranty, that gets bandied around a lot. There is no such thing really as a lifetime warranty. However, we want our Knipex users to be obviously comfortable with the tools, and obviously we want to offer an excellent service. So in terms of any manufacturing defects, obviously yes, we'll look at the tools. Obviously there's things that don't cover it, like wear and tear, misuse. These are obviously not covered under warranty. The best thing is really to do, if you have any issues with the tools, it's really not to contact us. It's to go back to where you purchased the tool from, and they're the first point of call. They will then liaise with us, and we can look at photographs and see if it's misuse, overwear, if there does look like there is a default in there. All of our tools are tested beyond belief before they leave the factory. So our returns rate in terms of genuine manufacturing faults is absolutely minute. It's like 0.03% over the whole lifetime we've been manufacturing tools. So not much leaves the factory that's not 100%. So it generally would be 99% is misuse, or you've used the wrong tool for the wrong job. But again, go back to the where you purchased for, and we will certainly look at any case. And obviously we want people to be happy with the tools, and keep buying Knipex as so. Next one was the screwdrivers. Very similar again. It's difficult to say if you're using the tools under the normal use and what we say the capacities are, then you should have no problems with it. Once you start straying away from those capacities, then that's where you could end up with damage and things like that. In terms of the looking after your tools, a lot of people do ask about rust and things like that. And when we do have the tool in its normal raw state, then yeah, once you introduce water, any piece of steel will rust. Best way to do is just lubricate it with any sort of oil. One thing we do really offer for people, and obviously people that have the stuff in their vans and stuff, is chrome plating. Obviously, once you put a protection over the top of the tool, that will stop the rust coming through. So if you do have rust issues because of damp in vans and you can't keep them dry, then please oil them. But secondly, you can add that extra layer of protection with the chrome plating. We do get asked about sharpening quite often. The problem with sharpening is you can do it with a lot of skill, but you need whetstones or diamond files, and you have to be very careful not to change the jaw geometry of the cutters. Obviously, if you file them down, you're obviously reducing the amount of material that's there, so you can cause cracks. Obviously, you're making the product thinner. If you do try and sharpen them and introduce heat into there, effectively you can weaken the tools as well. So we really don't recommend it. Again, under normal use, our tools should last for a lot of years. It's not something we recommend, and like I say, the amount of precision that goes into making each tool, you don't want to be changing the geometry and the strength and the hardness of those blades after the effect, because you could cause a lot more damage than.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, Steve, we've literally ran out of time. That's how fast 10 minutes goes. Just to wrap up on that warranty, though, just one thing you mentioned. So you would recommend they go back to where they purchased the tool, and then the supplier will, the merchant or whoever will then speak to you. So that's where they.
Of course, it is. It's always your first point of call. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have tools. We don't have a lot of stock that we send people, unfortunately, subject to contrary belief. But no, if you go back to the place where you purchased it from, obviously with a receipt, then they will look at it, and they generally will be in touch with us with pictures and images, and we can then assess whether it's either misuse or whether there is a genuine fault there. And of course, we'll look to replace any tools, but we have to replace it through the retailer.
Awesome. Steve, thank you so much for joining me. We had a few comments. Just say again, giving some big love to Knipex Tools. We've got Tony Anderson over on Facebook saying top side cutters. Any for testers going out? We'll have to have a conversation about that later, Steve.
That's your Nip Expert program there. So.
And then Daniel Dempster says he loves your left-handed cable stripper. Yeah, and then just people asking for freebies. I saw there was a question we didn't get to. Someone wants more swag. Someone wants more merch from you guys. So we'll have to see what we can do there. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on this 600 seconds with Knipex. If you've got questions you want to ask, you need to head over to Tool Talk, because Steve or a member of the Knipex team will be over in Tool Talk ready to answer your questions. And if you're not already part of Tool Talk, first of all, why not? You should be part of the community. It's awesome. It's full of you guys, and the more of you there are, the better this place becomes. And you can ask questions. You can ask Steve or the team. Ask them a question about Knipex. They'll dive in and answer your questions. Download the app. It's free to join, and just start talking about tools. We love this place. And that is it from me, Steve. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. And we will see you next week with Fernox. So until next time, see you later. Cheers, Steve.
Cheers.